Aloha, Dan McDonald here, Life Regenerator on YouTube. I have a very special video for you today. I want to make sure that you're subscribed to these videos so that you don't miss any of this amazing content that's coming in the next few weeks. Good call. So I've got an amazing recipe here. This is probably my personal top favorite to enhance natural beauty. We're going to go into enhancing your natural beauty in this video. Of all the things that I've learned, well, not all the things that I've learned, but as many of the most important things that I've learned for you to enhance your natural beauty. So let me get started with this juice recipe. It is an amazing recipe. This is like balanced and powerful, and it has apples that are going to keep the sediment from building up in your body. This malic acid will keep your gallbladder clean. It'll help to soften stones in the liver, and it'll keep the pipes clean so that you have good circulation. Okay, the celery is loaded with sodium, which allows nutrients into the cells, and it helps to detoxify as the toxins move out of cells. So you have to have cell permeability if you want to have beauty. So celery is an amazing herb and an amazing medicine, an amazing vegetable. Cucumbers. High water hydration is key if you want to keep your skin nice, if you want to keep your kidneys filtering, which is the key, because if your kidneys aren't filtering, your colon's going to get backed up, and then your skin is going to be used as a second kidney. You want to use all kinds of different fruits and vegetables and drink a lot of pure water to keep your kidneys flushed. And you're going to want to avoid all of the things I've been telling you to avoid all these years, and we'll get into that as we go along here. Lemon is a tonifier of cells, so you'll have nice, tight, toned tissues. Who doesn't want that? Do we want to be saggy and flabby and overweight? No, of course not. We want to have nice, tight, toned, youthful cells. And so you're going to want to use fruits and vegetables, but lemon is a cell toner. Arugula, I just picked that out of the garden, so it's very high vibrational. You want everything to be as fresh as you can get it, because it's the living gases and the living sunlight and the living water and the living enzymes and the living fiber and the living foods, which creates a whole cataclysm of life. There's two choices, and 99.9% of the world is choosing the dead food. And that's why their beauty goes downhill, and that's why there's all these creams and lotions and all this junk that never will work, because beauty has to come from the inside out. Okay, so arugula is a blood purifier at the top levels. So make sure that you are using arugula. Dandelion's great for the liver, but all of the herbs that I've talked about over the years, wild harvested is the best. But if you can grow your own, or if you got to go down to the grocery store, it does not matter. You need chlorophyll and you need the minerals that are provided by the leafy green vegetables. Next, I've got ginger. Ginger is a medicine in its own right. It's one of the top herbs of all time. In this recipe, we're going to use it to enhance circulation. That's what's going to give you beauty. When you've got natural blood flow to your face, you don't need nearly as much makeup. So makeup a lot of times is to cover over blemishes and to make up for that lack of circulation to your face. I'm just telling you the truth. I realize I could be more sensitive, and I know a lot of women might think, well, you're just a man, you big jerk, you don't understand. But I do understand. I really do understand. And I'm here for the people that want the real truth about how to create real beauty and how to really radiate natural beauty. It has to come from natural ways. God, Mother Nature, they're very smart, they're very ancient, they've been doing what they do for a long time. Then the human beings come along and screw everything up and try to patch everything up with little pills and creams and shots and cuttings and Botox, and it just doesn't work. And it never will, because Botox is going to pump you up now, but it's going to deform you later. You want to go the natural route. That's why I'm taking a few minutes before I start this juice. I'm a long-winded son of a gun, but for the people that get this, oh my goodness, their lives change. You should see some of the testimonials that I get to witness in my own life, what I've seen in my own life. How every single woman who I've ever had the opportunity to share time with always improves in their beauty on this lifestyle. And I will tell you the other side of it, when they start to slip and fall and go back, or I'm no longer a part of the picture, the hips get wide, the skin goes bad again, because they go back to the cooked foods. So don't go back to the cooked foods. Get on the raw food path and go that way as fast as you can. The daily juice habit, especially with recipes like this that are scientifically designed after 21 years of juicing every single day, this combination of foods is the next level. Now, I've got 3 gigantic beets, and that's the key ingredient here, because beets, carrots, red vegetables, orange vegetables, yellow vegetables, green vegetables, that's inside makeup that builds your blood, phytonutrients that gives you natural color to your skin, to your eyes, keeps your ears good, keeps your teeth clean, keeps your skin nice, and keeps your blood purified. But you don't want to eat pizzas and ice creams and eggs and cheese and dead white bread and dead white rice and dead white potatoes and a bunch of dead food all day, every day, because you're going to lose your spiritual connection to life, because you're going to cook all that, and then all that accumulation is going to take place in your glands, which keeps your hormones nice, which keeps your butt up and not down. But when the hormones from too much of the bad, wrong fats will clog up your gallbladder, destroy your hormonal system, and destroy your glands. Cooked fat, bad. Cooked starches, out. Cooked meat, gone. Cooked foods, goodbye. Why? Cooked equals decrepitude, old age, and death. And that's the truth of the matter, because that's what nature says, not me. I just look at nature and go, that's what it is. How old is that deer? That deer is 3 years old. How old is that deer? That deer is 8 years old. What's the difference? Well, you can't tell, can you? Why? Because that deer eats what it was supposed to eat. Then the human beings get the white bread and the Spam out and make these weird sandwiches, and it tastes delicious because it goes like this in your head, but then it sticks right there, and it sticks right there, and it clogs you up, and then you just become this, and your nose gets all punky. You know those old man noses? Big old cauliflower ears with gray hairs coming out their ears, because they're accelerating the aging process. Without the minerals, you're going to go gray. I know I could go on and on forever. I want to get this juice done. It's actually my dinner. And I set all this up and took about an hour because I really felt strongly about sharing this with you, because I've seen so much suffering and I see so many people struggling, and you just got to get inspired and you just got to get motivated, and it's like pretty soon you don't want any of that crap. And you're so stoked about coconuts and bananas and tomatoes and lettuce and cucumbers that you're stoked out of your mind, and you wouldn't even think about that other garbage, because it would just totally destroy you, and your spirit would be down, you'd be sad, and you'd be depressed, because when the fresher the food, the better your mood. I'm doing this juice. Beets are the key ingredient in this one, but the apples and all of it, it's amazing synergy, perfection. I don't really have a recipe made, just apple, celery, cucumber, lemon, arugula, ginger. We just took everything we had and just boom, and we made a recipe. So we're about to get down on this. It's going to take me a few good minutes. Now that I did that, that was the intellectual. Let's go with the channeling now. Let me just get into the juice mode. This is where I get my flow going, where all the magic comes through. Okay, boom. I got a couple other things here. I might as well start with that, because Puradyme is sponsoring these epic videos so that you can get stoked about your health. So thank God for Puradyme, the most amazing company in the world. The way that they operate is amazing, and their integrity and their intention is something I've never heard from a company before. You'll see that this company right here, Puradyme, is going to help more people to get healthy than any other company that this world has ever seen, and we are just getting started, and I'm glad to be a part of it. We are really here to help people to achieve higher levels of health, to get the education, to get the knowledge, and to get the tools in the modern world. I guess I'll talk about the cleanse first. That's a perfect way to segue. This is the, no, that's the pipe sign. This is the cleanse right here. It's an herbal formula that cleans the colon. So you wanted to talk about beauty? Let me tell you one thing. If you want to be beautiful, it ain't never going to happen unless your colon is clean and functioning well. Because your colon is the master factory of hormones, natural antibiotics, antibodies. Your immune system is in your gut. Your gut is like a second brain. And if it is rotting away with pizza cheese chunks and ice cream and fermenting sugar and grains that are sticky and gluey, grains are sticky and gluey. And the way I test these things is by looking at the plates that I've seen over my life. When you try to rinse spaghetti with hamburger meat, cheap, low-grade hamburger meat, like we used to eat at my house, right? We didn't get the good stuff. We got the crap with all the nasty fat, the hooves, the beaks, the noses, the buttholes, and they ground all that up, and they put it in a pan, and they cooked it, and then they put it in my stomach. Now I know better. But if you take that grease and those tomatoes are acidic once they're cooked, so now you got acidic meat, acidic tomatoes. Now you're going to take some low quality noodles, which are nothing. You can't get any nutrition out of noodles. I see it all over the internet. Noodles, rice, oatmeal. It's like, yeah, all that is a plug, a clogger. You need these living, it's only the living essence in the food that goes into your body anyways. The information, the energy, and the consciousness of an apple is what enters into your system. The water, the enzymes, and you're creating this amazing system in your colon. And that's why you have the living fiber. But we do the juice as a supplement to the craziness in the world from all the milk and the bad air and the chemtrails and the Wi-Fi. So when we juice, we extract the fiber so we can just have a concentrated source of life force energy, and we don't have to use any peristalsis or vital force to absorb all this nutrition, to absorb all this life force. Because really your body is a juicing machine. Did you know that? So when we use a juicer like this, all we do is kind of take away all the work that our body has to do. And animals in nature will be found sucking the juice out of fruits and vegetables all the time and spitting out the pulp. Everyone will say it's not natural, but monkeys do it, elephants do it. I don't even know about any carnivorous animals that do it. Gorillas do it, monkeys do it. And so they're juicing machines. They're not stupid. So I'm getting overloaded here. So my point is that you can use the cleanse here. You take what you do. See now, perfect little segue. I take this, 1 scoop of this, and put it in. That's all pure 100% apple juice. Okay, and the Pyridine cleanse is awesome with orange juice, grape juice, or apple juice. It's a little bit bitter, but that's because the herbs in there, and bitter herbs are again tonifying to the colon wall. People don't eat enough bitter herbs like this. I just broke my juice fast. Okay? Bitter herbs. Tonifiers. Dandelion. Tonifying, squeezing the junk out of the liver with those dandelion greens. So there's herbs in here that tonify, cleanse, and break down the junk on the wall and pull it out. Okay? I'm going to keep moving here. I got some celery. I already talked about the celery. So my point is, keep your colon clean. I want to keep going on that because that's like the hub. That's where it all happens. And that's one of the reasons why I recommend the enzymes and the probiotics and anything and everything that you can do with these living foods, with the living fiber, to create more activity in your gut of the beneficial type. Because everybody's got candida because they're eating all the cooked grains and then they're stacking one thing on top of the other and their whole stomach ain't nothing but a seething bog. And they're not thinking consciously about how to eat one thing simple, let that digest, let it all go through, wait another hour or two, and then when your stomach is truly ready to eat. But if we're all emotional eating, which I know that we do, which is cool because nobody is immune from that, but you want to do as little of that as possible. And as you start to really deal with your emotions and stuff, okay, I've been detoxing for years, man. I'm telling you, I'm glad that I am on the right track for myself. Everything that I've done in the past is finally starting to catch up to me. And that is a good thing when you're doing good things. When you're drinking and smoking and overeating crappy, junky foods, in bad relationships, having sex with people you know you don't even really love, wasting your time, wasting your energy away when you're totally wasting your potential. And then how are you ever going to be happy? So a vase fills drop by drop with foolishness, and a vase fills drop by drop with goodness. Are you filling your vase? Are you filling your temple? Are you filling your spirit with goodness, good choices, sleeping on time, good relationships, a job that you like? Are you eating good foods? That's the only way to be beautiful. Are you thinking good thoughts? There's so much more to the beauty thing. I'm just talking about the physical levels here because that's kind of an area of expertise that I've had a real passion for, is cleanse my own colon. That's an amazing thing. Then I became really kind of an expert. I mean, I've never been inside my own colon or anyone else's, but I've seen the power of colonics to take away headaches and skin problems. I've seen the power of these herbs to go in and break up the mucoid plaque so that you're not always starving to death, because whenever you eat, if you've got that plaque in there and you're not absorbing anything, no matter how much you eat and eat and eat and eat, you never get full. So there's two things you got to do about that, because nothing will take away your beauty like overeating, because your body won't be able to release. The body always has to be able to release. You want to absorb the nutrition and release the waste. But as human beings in this day and age, with all the stress and all the worry and all the tension and all the stuff going on and economic slavery, food is our only thing that we can do, you know what I mean? So I have a lot of compassion and understanding, but I was dedicated and committed to getting through this and making it work for me. So I was going to break free of all the programming, and I was going to go down that road, because this is my life, this is my temple, and I don't really give a crap about the whole politically correct thing, about all these politically correct food pyramids, I mean, and did I say paradigm? Well, that's just it. I was talking to Dave, he's the formulator, he's an epic dude. Pure Dime. So that's why I'm associated with them, and they have an amazing track record, this company, with purity. And I already told you all about the story that was about the Mike Adams from the Health Ranger wrote up a story on the probiotics from Puridyne being like the purest supplement ever. A+++ rating. And that is very difficult. And if you understand the power of consciousness and intention, you'll know with that team over there that designs these products, with Lou Corona heading it up, with his adherence to purity on every level, and also the whole family, everyone is divinely aligned, if you know what I mean. I could go into it more and more, but it's just like everyone's got their own belief system and stuff like that. But you can be rest assured, when somebody knows that the big dude upstairs is watching you, which isn't really what it is, it's you watching you, but if you know that you're watching you and you will be paying your debt someday or another. See, people think they're getting away with it. They're just not, and you can't. And so if you want to be beautiful, you have to be real. You have to have integrity. You have to be honest. You have to think good thoughts about other people. You can't just say good things and make a little smile and then turn the corner and say, oh, that guy's you know what or whatever. That's not going to work. That's going to make you ugly. Why? Because your thoughts are what make you radiate that joy of your mind when the light is in your mind, because the light is in your heart, because you understand and have love and care for people in life, and you have understanding because you've had your own struggles. So you develop compassion, sympathy, understanding, and then you stand back and you do what the Bible says and every master that ever lived, thou shalt not judge. Because when you judge, you're really just judging the part of yourself that you haven't accepted, because it's all just one. Everything is just one. We're all in one. We are a body. We're the body of humanity. We are one cell in the body of humanity. And the other cells in the body, whether they're consciously aware of it or not, they're picking up your vibration. They might be like, oh, she said all the right things, but God, I just didn't get a good feeling. Well, that's because everybody has those subtle sensitivities. So nobody gets away with anything, and it's absolutely real. And even when you're in a room by yourself, you're being recorded. And today is Judgment Day. So if you want to be beautiful, you actually have to have a beautiful gut. You have to have a beautiful, loving heart for yourself and all others, and understanding and compassion. And then you have to have a beautiful mind too. You have to keep, no matter what your programming has been. I mean, I worked for this guy, and he paid me $1,000 a day, and he was totally doing the diet. But once I found out he was prejudiced against black people, I was just like, I told him and his wife, I just sat him down and said, look, you guys can pay me $1,000 every day all you want, but until you stop hating black people, you're never going to get well. And you know what? He just looked at me and said, I can't stop hating black people. So he could do the diet, but he couldn't stop hating. So a few months later, I found out that he died. And I knew that was going to happen, and I just left after that, because what's the point? I don't care about the money. I just care about, I'm not going to waste my time. You know? If people aren't going to get well, and they're not going to do it, I don't waste my time with anybody. I don't just do it for the money. It's like, are you a champion? Are you going to do this? Am I going to see results in you, or am I going to be wasting my time? And I'm not going to waste my time with nobody. So it's like, live the program, because my integrity is you don't get the results unless you do what needs to be done. So that's all I'm trying to say, is to just do, you have to live right. So that was a major, that's what I'm talking about. I get the juicer going, and then I get into the zone, and the good stuff comes through, what really needs to happen. And so if you're interested in beauty, that's the truth. Because I'll tell you one thing, you could see a pretty girl, and she's all beautiful, and she's got all the, you know, she's got the hair and the face and everything else, but the minute she opens up her mouth and starts complaining, she goes from a 10 to a 2 real quick, and then you know that's right. Then you might see someone else who's like, oh, I normally wouldn't be attracted to this person, but gosh, she's so nice, she's so respectful, she makes me feel good about myself, and she goes from, you know, everybody can be offended by this, she goes from a 7 to a 10, you know what I mean? And that's the beauty, is the energy. And if someone is kind and loving, you start to see, you know? So it's not just this whole airbrush magazine thing that's going to work. Beauty is a light in the heart. Beauty is kindness. And your thoughts are going to make or break it. So if you think that no one can see your thoughts, then you're wrong, you know? Because everyone can see your thoughts every second of every day, because either you walk into the room and you bring it down, you walk into the room and you don't affect that room at all, and you're neutral, which is probably where the vast majority of people fall in. They're just kind of, they don't have bad intentions, but they don't actually have the good intentions. And then there's those rare individuals that walk into a room and they just have that extra special something. And it's something deep down inside. It's a connection to divinity. And that is the person that goes, wow, and the whole room changes. The room lights up, and they don't have to do anything. That's the kind of person you want to be. That's the kind of person that has the true radiant beauty. Okay, and it comes from this whole lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's not like I'm going to drink a few juice drinks and I'm going to go down to the spa and get a facial, you know, because that'll last for like a day. But this lifestyle lasts for a lifetime. So it doesn't matter where you're starting out. Other people start out along the different gradations along the path. But everybody can cultivate more goodness in themselves at any point. You can start where you're at, grumpy, complaining, negative person. You can make a decision right now to change your life, to start changing your thoughts, to harness your mind and make it go where you want it to go, and start cultivating and building neurons in your brain instead of, I'm broke, I can't afford it. You know how many times I hear that and I think, oh my God, you never want to say that. And you never want to say, oh, I'm fat and I'll never be able to lose weight. You have to watch what you say, you have to watch what you think, and you have to reprogram yourself to say, I am beautiful. You have to repeat that to yourself silently, usually. You probably wouldn't want to walk down the street, I am beautiful. I am beautiful. People will buy you, whoa, okay. You need some medication, man. So you just say it to yourself quietly. You say it before you go to sleep, and you start programming yourself. And your mind will be like, no, you're not. You're like 20 pounds overweight. And you're like, hey, man. Because there's those two voices, and you know what I'm talking about. It's like the devil and the angel. You want the angel. Because the angel is the deeper, more subtle aspect, more real aspect of yourself, because nature is so prolific, but then the human mind gets programmed with all this stuff that we have had to deal with. Honey, can you do me a favor and look at the time on that thing? I got ginger here. I can just wrap wherever. You just have to flip it back, honey, real quick, so you don't have to put your face in the camera. No, it's okay. You didn't show up, but just flip it back. What is it? 23? 24? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So we're 24 minutes in, and that means I got about 9 minutes left to wrap. I hope the stuff is coming through. For me, it's very important. I love this stuff. I live by it every day of my life. Otherwise, I wouldn't say anything of it. I'm doing ginger now. I did the arugula. I already kind of told you the benefits of each one. The ginger here is circulatory. Boom, which basically the ginger opens everything up to get the beets to go deeper into the blood vessels. That's the key. You want to keep your hair from getting gray? You got to have minerals and you got to have circulation. You want to keep your skin nice? Here's what it is with the skin. You want to have hydration and you want to have the best, freshest oils. Yes, fats and oils, healthy fats. You'll notice the people that are talking about sugar, high sugar diets that are on the low fat, you'll see them wrinkle up quicker than anybody else. Because hey, I love me sugar. I love beet sugar. I love apple sugar. I love celery has sugar in it. Cucumbers have sugar in it. Lemons have sugar in it. I love plant sugars. But man, oh man, do I love essential fats. Avocados, coconuts, olive oil. People talk about the negative effects of oil. I've never seen them in my life. I love fats, I love carbs, and I love protein, especially if I want to get jacked up. And again, Puridyme has an epic protein powder. You should check that out if you are watching and you want to build up some tight muscles. Okay, it's not going to make you fat, but you're going to build quality tissue because you're going to have these amazingly easily absorbable essential amino acids from the Puridyme protein powder, and you're just going to get pumped up. And it's not going to make you fat, it's going to build tight quality muscle, and then you're going to be at the gym and you're going to burn off because fat is nothing but toxins trapped in water. If the fat you eat was the fat you wear, which is the slogan, I would be fat. I would be 500 pounds. But instead, the fat that I eat lubricates my brain, protects my nerves, and enhances cellular integrity by protecting the cell walls with essential fats. So I am a long-term live food eater who plans on staying in the game for eternity. So I know I'm all over the place tonight. Like I said, what happens is the viewers here, well, you can't really, well, that's a very universal thing, but basically your questions as a group is what happens here on these videos via what I call the field effect. So anyways, we are about to overflow here, but these beets are the key ingredient. This is my dinner here. I'm going to take a second to let that run, and then I'm going to talk about the final thing, which is the key. If you go to a seminar and you say how to cure cancer, at the back of the room you will probably sell some enzymes. I won't tell you the number. But when you go to a seminar and you do a seminar on beauty and you got enzymes in the back of the room, you sell 10 times as much. So it goes to show you, by the time people have allowed themselves to get cancer by ignoring the signals of the body and taking control and taking care of your health, and a myriad of other factors as well. But you have to be conscious, and you have to be consciously aware of self-care. Otherwise, this world will take you out. But I know that people are just more willing to, put their money where their mouth is when it comes to their beauty. Okay? So, enzymes, the key, because you need to break up the junk that is sitting in your pipes. And that comes from so many different things. That is the cooked oils. Cooked oils will age you rapidly. Cooked starches will age you rapidly. They have no bioavailable minerals in the cooked starches. Okay? Yes, they fill your stomach. And they may even give you a little bit of energy, but without those living minerals, you're going to be aging yourself rapidly. And you're also going to be creating mucus buildup in the colon, in the lymphatic system, and that's going to inhibit the absorption. That's the beauty of the enzymes right there, is breaking up all the junk that you've eaten in the past in an accelerated way, because our vitality is lowered, our microbial activity is lowered, our gut activity is lowered, because each progressive generation in the industrialized nations is getting worse and worse and worse because of medical intervention, toxemia, processed food. There was an experiment done. You may have heard me talk about this before. The Pottinger cat experiments. After the third and fourth generation, the cats were degenerated down to the level of not being able to procreate. Those were the cooked food cats. Cooked milk, cooked meat. The raw food cats, raw milk and raw meat, continued to reproduce indefinitely. So each progressive generation that continues to eat the cooked food, then if you eat the cooked food, the fetus doesn't develop properly, then you do need medical care for the birthing process. Then you get the vaccines, then you get the cord cut too soon, then they cut the tip of your penis off, and that creates a lot of trauma, okay? And trauma will also affect your beauty. I know I'm all over the place again, but I'm just saying. And then you have to heal from all of that in order to regain the natural flow of your endocrine glands. And you have to deal with all the emotional pain that comes from whatever experiences that you had in childhood. And so, like I said, each progressive generation is continuing to get weaker and weaker, and we see a surge of cancer and little kids and autism and diabetes is blowing up and obesity is everywhere. And so we've just become weak. Our glands aren't functioning as well, and that's why we use the enzyme tools to strengthen and make up for the weakness of the pancreas, the weakness of the gallbladder, which is clogged up. So you want to fast, cleanse, juice, raw foods, and if you want to accelerate the process, then you use the enzymes, and you use the juicing, and you use the water fasting, and you use the fruit diets and the green juice diets, and you do your best to stay balanced, and you get educated on what's real, because at the end of the day, this is all very much common sense if you have the time to observe nature, but most of us don't. That's why there's people like me that make a job out of observing nature, experimenting on myself, working with clients, taking mental notes, researching, looking for answers to our modern day health problems so that we can thrive in the 21st century. We're almost down to the last beach here. I'm so excited. I'm so hungry for dinner. I just got back from an awesome bike ride. Oxygen is the key. That's another thing. Enzymes break up carbohydrates in your gut and releases oxygen. I'll tell you right now, Japan, Russia, and Germany study the athletes and supplemental enzymes, and it is 100% of the time these athletes that take enzymes post-recovery are recovering 50 times fast, not 50 times, but 50% faster than the other athletes who are not taking these enzymes to help to break up the lactic acid that is built up during vigorous exercise. And when the acidity is overflowing, that's going to accelerate the aging process. I'm talking over this juicer. I hope you heard every word I said. I feel like it was very important. I had a great time making this video. Let me check the time here real quick so that I can make sure that I don't go over. Can you tell me what it is, honey? It should be just about right there.